And finally, Foo Fighters recently petitioned Oasis to reunite during their headlining performance at Reading Festival. Reading?
It's pronounced Reading.
Okay. It says Reading here. R-E-A-D.
It's the same way that you spell Reading.
R-E-D. D-I-N-G. Or R-E-D-D, like Michael Redd. Remember him?
Yeah.
Sweet J.
I think you just made it R-E-D-D twice. I think you just respelled it the same way you spelled it the first time. You are on a disastrous run right now, like catastrophic. You have never, like you are the lowest bar in the history of sports journalism, and your last 25 minutes have been a total locust-filled apocalypse.
Never felt better. I mean, coming off a day where I broke the Zeke news. I mean, wow.
A caller on the local hour pointed out to us that this is the 3-year anniversary of you saying you would be 1% less worse.
Yep. In response, Noel Gallagher has started a petition for Foo Fighters to break up. For all the latest headlines and information, tune in to the Sports Center on ESPN Radio all throughout the day.
Let me marvel for a moment at everything that has happened over the last 20 minutes and what was happening during the break, because last week Bill Simmons called in and he was complaining that I don't correct Stugotz enough. And I was explaining to him how wearying it is to play this daily whack-a-mole with Stugotz, where if I correct everything wrong that he says during a show, we won't have time to talk about anything else. For example, somebody just tweeted during the break, hey, John Hanna was a guard. Stugotz called him a tackle.
What?
Yeah, what I'm telling you is that I can't keep track of the number of things that he gets wrong.
I'm not sure that guy's right.
Okay? Well, but that's, of course, you should have seen how he pivoted during the break, because Mike Ryan looked it up and he said, it is Alex Guerrero, the doctor who's not a doctor for the Patriots. And Stugotz's response was his friends call him Robert.
Robert Guerrero is a boxer.
Bobby.
So, also on Twitter, somebody wrote in something funny, because I am telling you that it is impossible to deflect all of his nonsense. We invariably are going to get all sorts of things wrong every day just because I can't keep up with how many things he's saying that are wrong, or just terrible judgment. For example, this isn't wrong. Somebody tweeted in this during the Bill Barnwell interview.
I want to know what Stugotz wrote on the paper during the Barnwell interview that Dan just threw directly in the trash.
So now I'm going to go fishing through the trash to find out what the hell it was, because it could be anything. Like, honestly, there are so many times where he's offering something and I'm rejecting it because I'm like, that's terrible. You've learned nothing in 20 years doing this.
I'll also say that there is a flow that Dan has to his interview. So occasionally I will write down some questions either for himself, for Dan, in case he forgets something, or, just when I could find a spot to get in.
Or when he could come up with something that's original that you can't hear anywhere else, like this, which I just fished out of the trash. Jason Garrett, hot seat?
That would have been a good one. The puppet? What do you think?
So here was Bill Barnwell. A big upset happened during the Bill Barnwell interview where Stugotz, who, again, this is the worst 20-minute run that Stugotz has ever had here. And keep in mind, Stugotz does things like this Alex Smith take that's historic around here. He does things like this all the time that can't be proven factually wrong in the moment, but then get to be historically wrong when Mahomes throws for 50 touchdowns.
Go ahead, Andy Reid. I dare you to go 14-2 and allow Alex Smith to leave Arrowhead Stadium to leave Kansas City. Go ahead, I dare you. Because of Patrick Mahomes. Because you think you could turn Patrick Mahomes into something that Alex Smith is not. Alex Smith is a very good quarterback. The audacity, first off, to do this to Alex Smith, who's been very good and loyal to Andy Reid and won him a lot of football games, to dangle Patrick Mahomes out there because Andy Reid thinks he's some sort of quarterback whisperer, which he is not, by the way. He is not, because if he was, Alex Smith would be better than he's been the last few years. So I dare.
That's a record for contradiction.
It's on Andy Reid.
That is the
only reason Alex Smith is not better than Andy Reid.
That's a world record for Stugotz not paying attention to any of the things he said the sentence before. Chris was just wincing in pain at how wrong all that is in retrospect.
Could not be more wrong.
Not so sure.
How could you have been? He was just whispering 1 year wonder under his breath a second ago.
All right, do it again. Seriously.
So, what a big upset it was to have Bill Barnwell on, to have him give us rat-a-tat-tat information, and then Stugotz flummoxes him because we all know how this season's going to end.
Pats in the Super Bowl.
Well, what? I would feel dumb if I said no and then they made it, as opposed to saying yes and having them not.
It rendered all the other questions meaningless.
All right, again, I want you guys to hear, not since Nick Offerman's dismount on a phone call that was clumsy and a failure have we had a moment of such clumsiness that Bill Barnwell, when given the most obvious question, Patriots again in the winning the Super Bowl, this is his retort.
Pats in the Super Bowl.
Well, what? I would feel.
He's great. He is our football expert. He is wonderful. His information is great. But Stugotz, who's gotten, again, 27 facts wrong in the last minute and a half, really flummoxed it.
Well, what? I would feel.
It's all downhill from there.
Let me hear the offerman. Nick, thank you so much for being on with us. Really enjoy your work.
Oh, thanks for having me. Have a great day.
Oh,
Mi familia.